Tonight on UI7 News, the Illinois State Driver's License Facility has reopened in Champaign after being shut down for a week.
And Illinois Railway Safety Week has just finished.
Plus, a fundraiser at the newly renovated Robeson Elementary School.
UI7 News starts right now.
From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio at the University of Illinois campus, UI7 News, your U of I news source.
Good evening, I'm Carissa Townsend.
And I'm Melissa Espana. The Illinois State Driver's License Facility has reopened after employees complained about headaches and sore throats.
Doors opened today at the West Bradley Driver's Facility location after it was closed for a week due to high levels of carbon dioxide in the building. A Secretary of State spokesperson says 150 customers were serviced during the first 3 hours of being open. Customer Janet Mayo is frustrated with these conditions.
But right now I got to get a license plates. My granddaughter got her car for birthday, and here we go. I'll be here for like 3 hours probably, and I got to get back to work.
A mobile facility was set up outside to service people getting their city stickers renewed, which is one of the facility's most common transactions. The mobile facility can service as many people as needed. The service facility is expecting to service an average of 600 people each day and will regularly get the air tested to ensure its employees and customers are safe.
Train tracks cross through all of Champaign-Urbana. While railroads are helpful, they can also be dangerous. UI7's Haley Jones met with state troopers during Railway Safety Week to learn more.
Police cars sped over to this 97-year-old man who walked in front of a train because he believed it would stop for him. Law enforcement are trying to educate the public of the dangers of disobeying laws near railroads.
Rail Safety Week just ended on Saturday in Illinois. Student at the University of Illinois, Allie Reddick, understands the importance of rail safety. Reddick had a friend who was struck and killed by a train while walking over tracks.
The boy's name was Michael DeLarco, and he was only in 5th grade.
Like when you think about when you're little, like you think of like your grandparents dying or like somebody older, but like somebody your age, you don't really think about dying. So I think it was hard for like a lot of us to grasp the fact that like something like that could have happened.
According to Illinois Operation Lifesaver, more than 50% of all collisions occur at crossings with active warning devices. Understanding the rules of rail safety prevents accidents and saves lives. Illinois State Trooper Tracy Lillard believes that educating people on the laws is the most effective way to keep citizens out of danger, even if that includes writing them a ticket.
We want to make sure the public is safe, and it's not worth it to try to beat that train.
While getting a citation might ruin your day, these officers do have your best interests in mind. When it comes to railroad safety, it could mean life or death, and none of us want to be another statistic.
People literally get hit like so often, and it's something that you don't realize is something that can happen easily, and I think that people just assume that they know everything about it, and it's like some sort of transportation so that the train company should take care of it, but they don't. So I think it's something that everybody should definitely learn about.
With Champaign having one of the busiest train yards in the country, knowing rail safety is very important.
It will help not only avoiding a hefty ticket, but it could also save your life. UI7 News, Haley Jones.
The Champaign-Urbana Mass Transit Department has received a $15.7 million federal grant to improve main streets around the U of I campus. Major changes are planned around the heart of campus, with construction set to begin in the spring of 2015. The construction has been broken into 4 phases. It will remake and redesign Green Street from Neal to Race and sections of Wright, Armory, and White Streets. The plan is to recreate the street's infrastructure as well as redesign the traffic plan. Bus and bike-only lanes will be added to improve safety and convenience around campus. New bus stations will be built with brand new shelters and information boards, much like the ones currently on Wright and Daniel Streets. CUMTD's Managing Director Carl Gannett says that the upcoming construction will have a major effect on local traffic.
Traffic will be unpleasant. It's not going to be great. You know, that's just a an unfortunate reality when you're working on street construction that you're going to bottleneck and reroute and slow things down, and it's not going to be a pleasant period of time.
Construction is expected to be completed in the spring of 2018. A federal grant means major renovations are on the horizon for Willard Airport. The airport has received a $400,000 grant from the Federal Aviation Administration to make renovations over the next 5 years. Located just south of Champaign-Urbana, Willard Airport has plans to focus the renovations on widening the taxiways and installing runway lights and markers. These renovations will allow larger airplanes to fly from Willard and add more safety features to the airport's infrastructure. Willard Airport generally receives $1.2 to $1.3 million annually. Officials say they applied for the grants with long-term renovations in mind, expected to withstand 20 years.
Robeson Elementary School held their annual Fallapalooza charity event, the first in the newly renovated building. UI7's Elon Cooperman was at the festivities.
After 2 long summers of construction, Robeson Elementary School has finally completed its $2.1 million renovation. The renovation included a refurbishment of every classroom, including brand new desks, chairs, and new cubbies and hangers, and new technology, including laptops in every single classroom. According to Principal Nicholas Gaines, the community is very excited about the new renovations.
Everybody that comes through here is really excited, and to see the renovation in Robeson and how it's changed. The school was originally built in 1967, so it wasn't a super old school, but it was definitely in need of some updates to truly make it a 21st century learning environment for our students.
At Friday afternoon's annual Fallapalooza fundraiser, the community got their first look at the brand new amenities, including a new library fully stocked with brand new books, a new gymnasium, and a new cafeteria, as well as a new music room. But to many students, the best part of the new facility is the organization and the convenience.
I think what I like about the new renovation is that there's not closets anymore, and so that means there's not so much stuff falling on the floor anymore, which was kind of annoying. So now we get to hang our stuff up, and it's more organized.
Even though school just started a couple weeks ago, the Robeson Elementary School has already opened its doors into the community, and everybody loves the new facilities.
I'm definitely super excited. Teachers are really happy. They've got a really nice space to work in, very conducive to learning and to education. And then you fold in all the new technology with that, and it just adds to the excitement.
The new facilities here at Robeson have surely made quite the splash. In Champaign, I'm Elon Cooperman, UI7 News.
A U of I student is using a creative way to show faces of the community. We'll show you the man behind Humans of Champaign-Urbana.
And fall weather means plenty of pumpkins. We'll tell you how the weather this year is affecting the pumpkin harvest. Those parking in Champaign have something to look forward to later this fall. Drivers will no longer have to go through the hassle of paying for parking meters with coins. Instead of searching for the car for loose change, motorists will be able to pay for their meters directly from their cell phones. The News Gazette reports that the city of Champaign entered a 5-year contract with Passport Inc. Instead of using coins, drivers will be able to pay for meters with their credit card on an app called Pay by Cell. The new system is expected to go into effect in November of this year.
Today is National Voter Registration Day. There are only 42 more days until the next election on October 4th. People can register to vote online through the Illinois State Board of Elections website, or they can head to the Champaign County Clerk's office to do it in person. 2 forms of identification are required for registration, and one must have your permanent address. Other places to register are some banks, some libraries, driver's license facilities, voter registration kiosks, and with deputy registers across Champaign County.
There was one page on Facebook striving to keep the Champaign-Urbana community connected through one snapshot at a time. UI7's Blaze Stewart has the story.
When bustling around Champaign-Urbana for school, work, and other errands, it can be easy to ignore the people you encounter during the day. Most people would find it unusual to have their day interrupted by a stranger walking up and starting to chat out of the blue. At least that is how Taylor Johnson and Alex Koziza felt when they were approached on the quad.
And he just comes up and I'm like, hi.
You don't expect it nowadays. Like,
no,
it's not.
You don't talk to people.
Yeah, it's not the norm to go up and just sit down and talk to people.
No.
Walking up to a stranger and striking up a conversation is a practice that many people seem to have abandoned. However, for University of Illinois student Jason Yu, this practice is the driving force behind his passion project, the Facebook page Humans of Champaign-Urbana.
So, some people play video games to blow off steam. Some people, pick up a sport, a hobby. This is what I like to do in my free time. Just go out and meet new people.
The new people Yu encounters are the ones seen gracing the Humans of Champaign-Urbana Facebook page. He rarely ventures out with a set plan or goal, but instead looks for interesting or colorful people who are open to some simple conversation. Through his experience so far, he has found that people are much more open to the idea of chatting with a stranger than many people think.
People aren't as closed off as we think they are. It's very easy to just start a conversation with someone and really go in depth with it.
Yu says he typically spends around 30 to 40 minutes talking to a person before taking their picture, and that he does little to no editing on the picture before posting it to the page. The end result is just a small glimpse into the subject's life, but a big part in keeping the Champaign-Urbana community connected. For UI7 News, I'm Blaze Stewart.
U of I students can now get free flu shots at McKinley Health Center. State employees and retirees may also be eligible for the vaccine at no charge. McKinley nurses say the vaccine will take about 2 weeks to be effective. The flu shots will be available at several locations on campus. Vaccines are also available at many medical clinics in Champaign, including Carl, and at stores like Walgreens and CVS.
Monday marked the 29th anniversary of Farm Aid in Champaign at Memorial Stadium. This benefit concert was originally organized by Willie Nelson, John Mellencamp, and Neil Young in order to raise money for family farmers in the United States. The first Farm Aid happened in 1985, and 80,000 people were in attendance. Performers included the Beach Boys, Bon Jovi, Billy Joel, and many more. Since then, the concert has continued to take place in different cities around the country. The most recent Farm Aid took place in Raleigh, North Carolina, and included performances by the original organizers.
A crosswalk pilot program at the U of I is underway on 6th Street between the Business Instructional Facility and Wohlers Hall. Construction began yesterday as a trail program to emphasize safety in the area. Traffic counts and camera monitoring will be used to measure the effectiveness of the program. The program is a collaboration between the university's Facilities and Service Department, the College of Business, and campus parking. The crosswalk is currently in a trial run, but will remain in place based on community feedback, traffic congestion, and safety and pedestrian safety.
For Illinois County, the pumpkin harvest is looking to be above average. UI7's Kelly Parker takes us to the apple orchard.
As the fall season begins, the joy of pumpkin picking can be seen firsthand at Curtis Apple Orchard. Because of the beautiful weather, friends and family will have an assortment of pumpkins to choose from this October. Although a few pumpkins were lost during the heavy rain this summer, Rachel Coventry, store manager, says that the pumpkin harvest is above average.
Pumpkins look great. There's tons out there. We were able to hoe the pumpkin patch a couple of times, so we were able to reduce the competition by getting the weeds out so then the pumpkins could establish.
Aside from the pumpkin patch, many visit the orchard store where they can find popular seasonal items like pumpkin butter and apple cider. Items like these attract individuals that are ready to begin the autumn festivities. It's the busiest time of the year at Curtis Apple Orchard, and everyone is trying to find their perfect pumpkin. Although pumpkin picking may seem simple, everyone has a different reason for choosing the right one.
I look for the ones that grow right side up as opposed on the side. That's the key. That's the key to it.
With the harvest looking great, Coventry is anticipating a busy year for the orchard.
The cooler weather earlier in the year has certainly brought out a lot of people because they're in that fall mood. They want to pick pumpkins and apples and just be outside more than anything. So they're looking for something fun to do.
In Champaign, I'm Kelly Parker, UI7 News.
We'll check on UI7's Christine Jones for the weather this week after the break. Let's check in with UI7's Christine Jones to see what's ahead for the rest of the week.
Thanks, Melissa. All right. Okay, so we're looking at mid-70s, high 60s out through the Midwest. It's a little warmer in Phoenix, Arizona with 94 degrees, and a little cooler out in Portland, Oregon with 66 degrees. Okay, as you can see, in our area, there's no chance of precipitation later this week. There is a little rain going over Iowa and Kansas. For our national radar, there's a storm coming around the coast of the Carolinas, touching on Savannah, Georgia, and a little bit of Florida. And tonight, our low will be 48 degrees with clear skies, winds moving southeast at 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we can expect clear and sunny skies with a high of 74 degrees, winds moving south-southeast at 5 to 8 miles per hour. And for our 5-day forecast, we can expect to see clear sunny skies for the rest of the week, with it getting a little warmer over the weekend. So if you're going to the Pygmalion, you'll have great weather and you'll be sure to bring out that sunscreen.
Thanks, Christine.
And now we have Daniel Cheris stopping by with sports.
Thank you, Melissa. We'll be back with more sports right after this break. The future looks bright once again for Illinois basketball. Earlier today, Jalen Coleman announced his commitment to Illinois. The five-star point guard from Indianapolis is ranked in the top 30 in the country. Coleman tweeted earlier today, "Excited to announce that I will be attending the University of Illinois. Looking forward to adding banners and accomplishing my academic goals." With this announcement, head coach John Gross has moved Illinois into one of the top recruiting classes for 2015. Fighting Illini football kicks off Big Ten play this Saturday night against Nebraska. The Illini have struggling against Big Ten teams, winning only one of their last 8 conference games. The Illini are coming off a 42-35 victory over Texas State. Josh Ferguson got the Illini offense rolling after scoring a touchdown on the first play. Ferguson ran for 190 yards and 2 touchdowns. Freshman wide receiver Mike Dudek also scored for the Illini, tallying up 7 catches for 90 yards. Wes Lund continues to impress fans and coaches on the offensive end. One threw for over 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. However, the Illini defense is going to have to step it up Saturday night against Nebraska's high-powered offense. Illinois safety Ernest Thomas will be able to play after a head-to-head collision got him ejected from the game last week. Coach Beckman spoke about Thomas's hit at his press conference on Monday.
Pride in trying to, teach our student athletes, our football players, the proper way to do things. And, like I say, I take that personally, because we're not going to lead with our head. If that's going to get, if that's not allowed, and we're not going to do those types of things. Well, in our opinion, when that occurred, it didn't.
The Illini are currently 3-1 heading into Big Ten play. Illinois wide receiver Justin Hardy has found success through his first 4 games in an Illinois uniform, but overcoming adversity was something that did not come easy for the freshman. Our UI7's Chad Boxenbaum has the story.
Tough love. That's what Coach Bill Cubitt uses to describe his relationship with Illinois wide receiver Justin Hardy.
We built a relationship stronger than me and most coaches. And he's hard on me for a reason. That's because he expects a lot out of me. So that's definitely one thing I just take in consideration.
That special relationship is the bond formed when Justin lost his mother last December. Cubitt can relate, as his father passed away last June.
He called me and he was bawling his eyes out, or bawling, and I said, "What's the matter?" I thought something. And he said, "Coach, I just lost my mom." I said, "Well, how long ago?" He says, 5 minutes ago. And then you sit there and you go, "Holy smokes, this kid's calling me 5 minutes after his mother died."
It was from that point on that Cubitt took Hardy under his wing and showed him the tough love needed for him to continue to grow as a player.
"Coach, I hate you, but I respect you." He said that to me one day.
The smallest things mean the most to him. So that's one thing I can say I love about him, because I feel like these things will also help me as a man in the future.
Hardy had the best game of his young career in Week 2 versus Western Kentucky when he caught 6 passes for 110 yards and a touchdown.
You got to play for somebody. There's somebody in your life that you want to make sure when you come out the field, hey, I did the best I can. And he came up to me, and 2 other kids came up to me and go, "Coach, neat story, because I have to do the same thing with my dad or mom or whatever." And then when that happened, it was just, it's kind of crazy how things work out.
With Cubitt and his mother watching over him, Hardy hopes to only keep impressing them with each passing game. In Champaign, I'm Chad Boxenbaum, UI7 News.
Illinois soccer is on the rise and currently ranked 19th in the country. Senior forward Janelle Flaws is having an outstanding start to the season. Floss tallied 5 goals last week and has scored 11 on the season, ranking her second in the nation in goals scored. With this achievement, Floss earned National Player of the Week and Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week. Illinois volleyball is also making noise in the Big Ten this season. Freshman Brandy Donnelly earned her first career Big Ten Freshman of the Week. Donnelly and the Illini are currently ranked 16th in the country and begin Big Ten play on Friday against Maryland. The Chicago Bears took a trip to East Rutherford, New Jersey last night to face the Jets. The Bears defense got off to a hot start as safety Ryan Mundy intercepted Geno Smith for a pick-6 on the first passing play of the game. Early in the third quarter, Cutler found Martellus Bennett in the end zone to give the Bears a 24-13 lead. The Jets had one last shot at the end zone, but the Bears defense held up and secured a win to start the season 2-1. The Bears will clash against the Green Bay Packers next Sunday at Soldier Field.
Thanks, Daniel. The show True Detective has named next season's star. That's part of tonight's Hollywood Minute.
A long-term Howard Stern contributor died Saturday. Eric, the actor Lynch, suffered from Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Celebrities tweeted condolences, with Artie Lang using Lynch's catchphrase, "Bye for now." The actor was 39. Colin Farrell is heading to the small screen. The actor confirmed to Irish newspaper Sunday World he's been cast in the next season of HBO's True Detective. He said, "I'm doing the second series. I'm so excited." Farrell says filming is expected to begin a few months from now in Los Angeles. And following its box office win this weekend, 20th Century Fox has announced a sequel to The Maze Runner. Variety reports The Scorch Trials will hit theaters next September. The films are based on a young adult trilogy. The third book in the series, The Death Cure, may also be adapted. The Maze Runner brought in more than $81 million worldwide. For Hollywood Minute, I'm Jeremy Roth.
The town of Belleville celebrated its 200th anniversary on Sunday by attempting to set the Guinness World Record for the longest grilled bratwurst. Larry Schubert led the charge on the bratwurst, which ended up measuring over 220 feet, well past the previous record of 152 feet. The record verification process is underway, but either way, this bratwurst made Belleville's anniversary one to remember. So I'm actually a vegetarian, so I've never had a bratwurst. What about you?
I haven't had one either, but with this weather this weekend, I may get out there on the grill and start grilling some bratwurst.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, hopefully with the good weather, we'll be able to get out there and grill some for ourselves. But
yeah. Yeah, sounds good. I never had one either, so it'll be nice to try one for the
What
first
about you,
time.
Dan?
Yeah, I mean, I'll try it. Not a big bratwurst guy, but we'll see. Try new things.
Well, that's it for tonight's edition of UI7 News.
Have a great night.
And for those of you celebrating, have a happy Rosh Hashanah.